Ready for me? Okay. My name is Janet Mitchell, and I'm from Oakville. About 7 years ago, I became sick, and I was ultimately diagnosed with multiple sclerosis. The MS Society was very helpful and provided me with a great deal of information. They told me that Canada has the highest incidence of MS in the world, and that this is both baffling and unexplained in our country. MS is a neurodegenerative disease. It can lead to paralysis. In my case, I was regularly dizzy, staggered, and my eye turned out. I soon needed a cane, and a nurse at McMaster University told me that I should actually be using a walker to avoid falls and breakage, and that I should prepare myself for the fact that I would soon be in a wheelchair. Well, obviously, it wasn't long before my condition worsened and the stairs in my house became unmanageable, and we had to sell our house and move into a one-story apartment. This has been a life-changing experience. If you're wondering why I'm talking about MS at a meeting of Lyme disease, it's because it turns out I never had MS. For 5 years, I kept getting worse. I was going downhill at an increasingly rapid clip, but my research finally led me to Dr. Kropp's clinic in Mississauga, where I was diagnosed with chronic Lyme disease and started getting treatment. After a 2-year of treatment, I've left the cane behind. I'm reasonably stable. I'm not yet back in my dancing shoes, but I can manage in sensible shoes just fine. Along the way, many doctors have told me there is no such thing as chronic Lyme disease. I've been told Lyme doesn't even exist in Canada, and I've been warned about the long-term use of antibiotics. But I believe I'm proof that this is not true. Why are doctors not actively looking for Lyme as a possibility? If they did look for it as a matter of course, my life would not have taken its downward spiral. Early on, I went to my GP with a skin rash that was caused by the tick that bit me at Point Pelee on the north shore of Lake Erie. My doctor said it was nothing, and it would go away on its own. Well, it disappeared, but it didn't go away. Soon after, I developed a case of shingles. Once again, I went to the doctor, who told me to get my nerves under control, and they would go away. Wrong again. Eventually, I started to get dizzy and trip and stumble, and eventually I was diagnosed with multiple sclerosis, a disease which doesn't go away. The neurologist told me, when I asked, that I should just go home and live with it like other people do. There was nothing that medicine could do for me. This was my new identity. I had MS, and my life had to change to accommodate this new reality. But here I am 2 years later, after finding Dr. Kropp's clinic, being diagnosed with chronic Lyme disease, and receiving extensive antibiotic therapy. No cane, and feeling quite well. My incurable multiple sclerosis miraculously seems to be clearing up. How many people are there who haven't been as fortunate as me? How many people are there who have been told they have incurable MS, when perhaps what they have is a potentially curable case of chronic Lyme disease? Is it possible that people who haven't found a doctor trained to diagnose and treat chronic Lyme could be cured? Isn't it high time we found out? Thank you.